Hi guys, in this session we had a lively, so-called lively discussion about stereotypes and things in the last class. We're going to now talk about something maybe, so basically they always talk in the UK that the class system is abolished. There's no such thing as a lower class, a middle class and an upper class in theory. But actually research and more research has shown that actually there is a class system in the UK, and that there are actually more categories than before, maybe. Yeah. So before there was this upper class, the people with the certain hats, the middle class, and the working class. And now they're saying there are 7 categories, and we all fit somewhere into these categories. So we're going to talk about the class system maybe in your countries, and if, for example, it's a problem. So, for example, if you are born into a certain class, that restricts you in some ways, or equally gives you more opportunities. Yeah. So that's going to be the topic of today's session. So we're going to read an article, and we will see how this goes. Who have we got in this session? We've got Peter again. Cool, good that you're here. Sam, Rassel, and Manal. Manal, I think, are you joining, Manal? We haven't seen for several days. I'm getting worried. I'm good, yeah. So I'm good, Manal. Thanks. How are you? And Mira is joining. Perfect. In the meantime, I'm going to send you this article that we're going to talk about, and we're going to discuss this. Yeah. So this should be a lively discussion as always. Let's hope. Okay. So Manal is fine, not just fine. That's cool. Hopefully you can join us in the session. Peter, I'm assuming, is joining. But we've got to wait maybe a few minutes. How long do we have to wait? Can someone indicate? In the meantime, I don't know. Yeah. So I want you to suggest me things that I should do in this time. Always, there's 2 minutes. I need to do something. Maybe it's quite interesting. 3, 2, 1, and lift off. Can we all join in now? And that was a fail. It didn't work. Okay. Go. Okay. We have. Who do we have? We have in the session. Okay. Who? Ah, there's too many people. So, we have Hazel. We have Ibrahim.
Yeah.
Good to speak with you again, Ibrahim. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Cool.
And
so
you?
nice. And not too bad. And we spoke a couple of days ago, and you are from Turkey, right?
Yeah, I'm
Cool.
from Turkey.
Cool. And we have Juan. We have Manal. We don't have Manal. We have Mira. Do we have someone?
Yes.
Mira. We have Mira.
Yes.
I didn't offend you enough
For
for you to
sure.
go running off, yeah? So it wasn't too bad, but the stereotype.
You are so diplomatic, Martin.
Okay, we'll see. Okay, so, Rassel. How are you, Rassel?
I'm fine, as in the previous class.
Okay, cool. You're fine as always. Peter is okay as normal, yeah? Peter.
I think he's loading still.
Okay, so we'll come back. Sam, how are you?
Can't complain. Thank you.
Can't complain. Cool. And Tim, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Okay, Tim, we've got to ask you. Did you follow the last session?
No.
Okay, there was an article, and I'll send it to you because it was basically saying about stereotypes and things like that, and they were talking about the difference between German characters, Italian characters, and French characters and things like that. So I'll send that to you later or something. I want to hear your opinions on this. Yeah, so it'll be really interesting. In fact, I wanted you to join in the last session, but yeah, we can talk about this another time. Okay, so in the meantime, we have Arm. We have Arm. Whoa, what happened? Okay, we'll come back to you. Okay, so who else can I speak to? Juan?
Yes. I hear.
Great to speak with you. Have we spoken before, or is this the first time we've spoken?
No, this is the first time.
Okay, well, welcome. Hopefully it's good for you. Hopefully you like it. Where are you from, Juan?
I am from Colombia.
Colombia. Cool. Anyone else? We have Hazel back. In theory. Okay, we'll come back. Maybe it's loading. But we definitely have Arm. Can you hear us, Arm? Okay, so we'll come back to you. Because we are success in negotiations, still now we negotiate about Jews. Okay, yeah, that's the difficult situation. Right, let's go there. Okay, so, Arm, can you hear us? Okay, we'll come back. Okay, so in this session, we're going to talk about class, yeah? So what class is and things like this. So I'm going to ask you a couple of questions in at once. Do you know what class means? Not in terms of like we're having a class, but the class system. And also, do you think it exists in your country, and to what extent? Okay, so Tim, does France have a class system still, officially or otherwise?
Yes, I think. Yes, I think so. Yeah.
But officially, does it? So you're saying it does? Is that official or unofficial?
It is official.
Official.
Yeah.
So it's okay to talk about it, yeah? So it's okay to say you are upper class, middle class, or lower class, yeah? It's okay to talk about it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool, that's interesting. Okay, Sam, what do you say in Syria, and also compare it with your experience in Spain? Yeah, a class, for example, saying, for example, if someone has money is really, the Queen of England is definitely upper class. If we were to define, middle class would be someone maybe who has their own business, works in a professional occupation like a lawyer, teacher, doctor. And lower class is someone who does physical work according to the traditional way, yeah, or someone who doesn't. That's the traditional saying, but we don't say this anymore in the UK. We've got rid of the class system officially, but we're talking about if it actually still exists. So Sam, do you categorize people into classes in Syria?
Officially, no, but unofficially, yes. Maybe some people you can see them classifying the others.
Okay, and is it a problem in Syria?
No, I don't think so. It's
okay.
Not, at the formal level, you might find the problem is in two classes, like a normal people and the government people. That's it.
Okay, so you're basically saying there's two classes. If you're a normal person or your government, you're in two different classes.
Yes, of course, that's the old days, but today you don't know what's happening.
Okay, so it's interesting. Rasa, what would you say? Compare America with your home country.
Well, I don't know about America, but I know that my home country has a class system, and it's official because whenever they count the people, they write in the form that the family comes in middle class, upper class, or lower class. So it's official.
And what does it mean to be middle class, or lower class, or upper class? How do they distinguish?
Well,
how do they know?
It depends upon how much money they have.
So it's not about the job,
property, job, money, property. They all count them.
Okay, yeah. So it's yeah. They basically see what you own, what job you do, but mainly how much money you have. Yeah. So,
yes.
Okay, that's interesting. Manal, you're asking, can anyone hear me speak?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, it's a bit quiet, but I think it's okay. We'll come back. I'll just ask Mira before I forget, yeah, because I'll go in order, and then I'll come to you, Manal. Okay. So, Mira, what do you say in Egypt? Is there a class system, officially or otherwise?
No, officially there are two classes: the rich people and poor people. It's not depend on the tradition or what else, but maybe some bad people in the higher class. because they gain a lot of money without any
Without any reason, maybe. Or,
yes. And maybe in the lower class,
Yeah, without any effort, that's perfect.
the good people and professional.
Yeah. So
It's not depend on tradition.
So Sam said without any effort. That's perfect. Yeah. So that's
Yes.
what. Yeah, that's right. So you're saying there's these two classes. Is it a taboo in your country to talk about this? I would say in the UK it's kind of people talk about it, but it's kind of like a taboo topic to go. Okay, you're lower class, you're middle class, you're upper class. Although often when we talk about politicians like David Cameron, we say, he's an upper class top, yeah, things like that. So with the politicians, maybe we have a different rule. But Mira, is it taboo to talk about class in your country? Mira.
Again?
Is it a taboo to talk about class in your country? So taboo.
Taboo?
Meaning you're not allowed to talk, you shouldn't talk about it.
No, it's easy to talk about anything. Especially after our revolution, we can talk about anything at any time we can.
Not about that. I'm saying about, for example, in the UK, it's kind of a taboo to say, yeah, so, to say to someone, "Oh, you're middle class." You don't discuss someone's own class. It's not about politics. It's about, it's rude, yeah, to say that.
Yeah, we can say that I am in the middle class or upper class, but we can't say to other people that you are coming in the lower class or middle class. So that's kind of taboo.
That's rude, and you shouldn't really
Sometimes
ask someone.
It happens, but not usual. Sometimes.
Okay, that's interesting. And you shouldn't really ask someone what class they are as well, yeah? So but it doesn't really exist there officially, but unofficially, I'd say people do still think about that. Manal, what do you say?
About what? Which question?
Okay, so is there a class system in your country? Is it taboo to talk about class? And also, what do you think? Is there an official class system in your country?
Well, I'm not beginning with taboo. Yeah, it's a taboo to speak in a class. It's a kind of rude, and sometimes maybe the teacher will let you go out the class because you speak at the middle of the class.
Manal, middle class just doesn't mean. sorry. Manal, okay, so I didn't make that clear. Okay, so there's two ways of saying class. Yeah, so I'm joking around with you because I know you, Manal. Okay, so don't worry. But a class, for example, we're having a class. Yeah, so that's one way of saying class. But class is the level. Yeah, so your level in society. But that's why I thought you misunderstood middle class to mean middle of the class. I thought that was cool. Okay, so Manal, what do you say? So in your country, do you categorize people based on their level in society, or is it a taboo, like maybe in the UK, like what Russell said in America?
Well, I don't think so. They categorize depends on their level of living. But it's a kind of respectness for the upper class, if I can say.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's it.
Okay, so you're saying it doesn't exist so much, yeah? So it doesn't exist so much. Juan, what do you say in your country? How is it?
Well, I'm not sure. I think there's a lot of classes. I think there are rich people, poor people, and middle people. I don't know, but I think there's really, really rich people and normal people.
As Peter was saying, yes. So the gap between basically now people are arguing that there's rich people and there's poor people. Yeah. So the gap in the middle is getting bigger. Yeah. So, but for example, in your country, are you treated differently if you're from a different class? Yeah. So for example, I've heard in the olden times in some countries, you can only marry with someone of the same class, or things like that. Yeah. So, is there this distinction in your country, Juan?
Yes, there's people very very rich, and there's a lot of poor people.
Okay, and do people talk about it? So do people talk in terms of, oh yeah, I come from this class, or I am of this class, or is it a taboo topic?
Well, people used to say I'm middle class, but I think they are normal people, and we're people.
Yeah, so not normal people, yeah. So yeah, and I would say in the UK, the idea they said, well, officially we're getting rid of this system. You can't call someone lower class because although people in newspapers they still talk about it because ultimately we're people, you know, we're just doing different things. So Ibrahim, what would you say? Yeah. So how is it in Turkey?
In Turkey, there is no class system officially, but maybe unofficially there's a class system. I think in my country we district people depending on corruption or corruption or corruption or well people.
So you have two classes, yeah? The corrupt ones and the non-corrupt ones. Is that what you said?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, that's an interesting point. Okay, so yeah, and okay, that's a big topic. We also have Alexander back. How are you, Alexander?
I'm fine now. It's okay.
Cool photo. You've changed your photo.
Yes.
But where's Big Ben?
I saw it.
Sorry?
I saw Big Ben, sorry.
You saw Big Ben?
Yes.
Okay, I'm disappointed. Okay, so what do you say in your home country? Yeah, so what did you understand what we're talking about?
We're talking about classes, yeah?
Yeah.
Yes, I understand, but I can't tell something about my country because I live now in London and I see only two classes here.
Rich and normal, yeah. What would you say the category? Yeah. So
this two categories. Yes. You know, one category is people who travel here and work at a very cheap job like McDonald's. You know, it's very cheap job. Poor people, and another people who live here many years, and these people have a normal job, normal life. No, I see only these two classes.
So you're saying you feel difficulty, yeah? So you're saying, okay, that's a big issue, yeah? So you're saying immigrants and people who've lived there for a long time. Is that what you said?
Yeah. Because today I'm going to interview for job, and so first question be what you from? How long you live here? What is your nationality? You know, and it's all.
It's worth noting they do ask that for. It's not a distinction, yeah. They ask that, for example, if I went to a job interview, they would usually say that as well, yeah. So, so don't feel that this is just or whatever. It's just usually they need to have these details, yeah, for some reason. I don't know why, but they ask me, what nationality are you? White, British? Are you what? But you don't have to answer them, yeah. So there's a law or something. They ask you these, but you don't have to answer. You have the right not to answer, and you should have no discrimination because you are of equal level, yeah, because you are an EU citizen, for example, yeah. So, okay, so I don't know, but you said you had a bad experience today, yeah?
Yes, because I don't know. People answer, what you from? And you say, I'm from Russia. And people, oh, yes, okay.
But remember, Alexander, know your rights, yeah? So, for example, if you felt prejudiced against, there is laws that will protect you, yeah? So just know your rights. If this was a bad example, you can complain and stuff, yeah? So, but you felt prejudice, yeah? So, yeah, okay, so you're saying, from your experience in London, you felt two classes, yeah? So you're saying nationals and the foreigners.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, I'm sorry you feel that way. I hope that it's not that. But what would you say then, for example, about the people, not regardless of their nationality, this kind of upper, middle, and lower? Would you say that this exists?
I don't see for this example. Yeah, I can't see this one, but I don't know. I really don't know because I started live here maybe 6 months, and I don't know. I really don't know.
Okay, so it's difficult, yeah, so to see it and stuff. Okay, so in that case, we're going to have a look at this article. Yeah, and we're going to talk about this. Yeah, so now there are 7 different classes. They're saying, yeah, so it's quite unusual. But I'm going to send you this article, and I'm going to share my screen as well, so you can see this as well. Okay. So for those if anyone's
Hey, teacher.
watching. Yes, please.
Teacher. Verbing check is not working for me.
Okay, no worries. I'll put it in Google Chat as well. Yeah.
Can you post it on chat? Oh,
Okay.
thanks.
No worries, no worries. Okay, let's talk about this. Okay, so it's called the Great British Class Calculator, and here is, for example, a traditional. This is from a comedy. I think this is from a comedy sketch years ago, really old, and this is basically how people would distinguish the class in the olden times. The upper class would have this kind of umbrella and would wear clothes like this, would wear a hat like this. The middle class would be like this, would wear the hat, and the lower class would wear clothes like this. Yeah, so in Victorian society or in old UK society, there was this clear distinction. The way people looked, you could tell which class they belonged to. Yeah, and this person would wear some kind of hat like this. I don't know, in your countries, was it ever so? So could you ever distinguish someone's class by their appearance in olden times in your country? So, Tim, what do you say in France?
I don't know.
But what do you imagine?
I think yes.
Like the clothes people
You
would wear?
you're talking about now or before?
Before, in maybe 100 years ago.
I think so. Yes.
Okay, so you could tell, yeah? It was quite obvious.
Yeah.
Alexander, what about in Russia? So, yeah, you have very glamorous clothes. I've seen in the history books and stuff. We did about the Tsars and things like that. How, for example, at school we did this. How would you say, in the olden times, in Russia, did people look different? Yeah, so if, for example, they were the elite, they were, I don't know, the royal family, whatever, did they look differently? Did they look different compared with the normal people?
You mean, can I see different people in Russia?
Yeah, as in not the people now in the history. Did people dress differently? Could you say, for example, in the picture I showed you, this is maybe 100 years ago in the UK. You could know that he is lower. This is for a comedy sketch, yeah. That's why this man's shorter. It's not that really the lower class are shorter, but it was just a comedy sketch. And you could tell a person with this kind of stick, a person who wore this kind of outfit was upper class. You could tell a person that was like this but wore a different hat was middle class, and this person was lower class by the clothes. Yeah, was this so in Russia? Do you think in history?
Yes. Everywhere. Any country you can see which good class is people, because you can see if this man wearing something, very poor, very cheap clothes, you can know, this guy don't have money, and next going out very expensive car, have very expensive clothes, tie, and you say, yeah, this guy is manager or something.
Okay, so yeah, you would do this. The thing is, now it's difficult to tell, yeah, because for example, in the olden days, it would maybe be a working class person wouldn't worn these clothes, but nowadays it's difficult to tell, yeah. So if there was a class system nowadays, you don't know, because everyone, for example, has lots of people have a smartphone, lots of people have very similar things, you know. So maybe it's difficult to tell now, and yeah, maybe that's a good thing as well. But okay, so what do you say, Sam? So in Syrian society, did you have this distinction? Did people dress differently in
In the
history?
history, yes, yes. You can see. Well, I wasn't in those days, but my father tells me that. Um, well, you can notice rich man by his clothes, and you can see his fancy texture. He's wearing some fancy clothes with fancy texture, and some others who dress simple clothes with patches. You know.
Yeah, so you could tell. But nowadays, is it difficult to tell? Yes. So you're saying that there's no real class system as such. But can you tell, for example, if someone has got money and someone hasn't got money now, or would you say basically we can all look the whatever way we want to?
Yes, I think we can all look in the way we want to look, right? But some people like basic workers who work in construction and something like that. You can notice that they are very simple and humble, and you can find someone who's wearing a suit with a tie. Of course, you will recognize them as rich. It is not necessarily true, but it happens usually.
Okay, yeah. So you'd say you can notice it. Robert, good to speak with you again.
Hi, good to speak to you.
Cool. We spoke a couple of days ago, right?
Yes.
Cool. And you're from Hungary.
Hungary, yes.
Cool. Okay, so did you understand what we were talking about? Yeah. So did you
Yes,
follow?
of course. Yes.
And what's your opinion? So how is it in Hungary? Is there a class system now, officially or not officially or non-officially? And would you say, for example, in the history in Hungary, because you had this empire, yeah? So the Hungary, Austria, I can't remember what it was called, yeah, something.
Yes.
Could you distinguish between a rich person and a poor person?
Nowadays,
Not nowadays, in history, and then compare now.
in the history, I think yes, because noble people have had the opportunity to live in more expensive houses, or they could afford other things that were more expensive, but a peasant or a I don't know how to say it. People who worked on the fields, lived
So manual
on
workers, yeah?
the
Manual
countryside. Yes. So yes, this kind of category had always existed. Yes.
Okay, so manual work and stuff, yeah. So you could tell. By the way, Peter knows this, yeah. So Ronnie Corbett, yeah. So he's very, very famous in the UK. He's a bit older now, but he's got a lot of classical stuff. And he actually came back a couple of years ago to do a sketch about. In fact, I recommend him as a comedian. He's old, but he's still funny. Okay, so in fact, I don't know. Pete, I'll see how long this is, because maybe you can watch this now, because it's funny, unless it's quite long. We'll see. Okay, no, it's 56 seconds. Let's watch this now. This is a comedy sketch about about class in the UK. So those who haven't watched it, here's the link. Mute your microphones, and we'll come back in 1 minute. Okay. Okay, did everyone see this?
No.
Okay, did you see this? Okay, so this is a comedy sketch. Basically talking about, it's joking about class, yeah? So who respects who and whatever, yeah? So it's a really old comedy sketch. Did you understand, Mira? Can't hear you.
Still not working. Maybe bad connection.
Now I can hear. Now I can hear you. Now I can hear. Did you manage to see this, Mira?
Yes. Give me just two minutes to see this because bad connection. I'm sorry.
No problem at all. Okay, so who did see this and who's got a comment? Sam. Oh yeah, Manal, sorry.
Yeah. Okay. They were talking about the differences of in 3 levels: upper and middle and lower classes in yeah, that's it.
Okay, so you got it, yeah. So who looks up to who, and this humble guy, I know my place, yeah, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, this kind of thing. So yeah, and would you say this is similar to maybe how it was in your countries? Yeah. So would you say you have a similar history with regard to this? That there would be this three distinction. Yeah. So Tim, what would you say? So Tim, in France, how was it?
I think it's quite the same as the UK.
We're close geographically, yeah, and things like that. So maybe it's similar.
Yeah.
What about countries further away? So Mira, did you watch it now?
Yes.
Did you understand?
Yes, it's funny.
What did you think of it? Yeah. So would you say something was similar in Egypt? Yeah. So where there was these three distinct classes in the olden times.
In old time, yes. This is the same in Egypt.
But now, no, yeah, because now I wouldn't say it's this in UK. Okay, Ronnie Corbett knows his place. In fact, I'm going to send you this now. I'm not going to expect you to watch it now, but you can watch it later. Ronnie Corbett did a very, very good sketch a couple of years ago about Blackberries, yeah, and about technology. Let me show you this now. I'll send you the link. I don't think it's long. If you like, we can watch it now, but you can watch it later. 1 second. Yeah, this is a very good sketch. It's a recent sketch as well. It's from a couple of years ago.
Martin?
Yeah?
Do you have a website?
I do, yeah, but it's not... I don't think it's working now. I'm not sure.
Okay.
1 second. Let me send you this. Okay, you can watch this later. It's a couple of minutes long, so you don't have to watch it now. Unless, for example, an overwhelming majority of you want to watch it now, in which case we will allow you to watch it. Yeah, so you can watch it now. It's a couple of minutes maybe. So if you like, you can watch it afterwards. But it depends on what you'd like. Later. Okay, I'm guessing you want to watch it later or now.
Okay, I'd like to watch it now.
Okay, let's watch it now because we talked about it and we can talk about it afterwards. This is just to give you an idea about the comedy. This guy who's acting in this was the short man, yeah, the working class man. But yeah, mute your microphones, watch it now, and we'll discuss afterwards. Okay. Okay, did people see this? Or are you still watching? I'll give you some more time.
More time, please.
I tried to put my dongle in it. Oh, God. Okay, so I don't know if you managed to see most of it, yeah? So did you all see? Or was there still
Yes.
more to go? Okay, so I will try to explain now this humour because it's typical what we could call British humour, I guess, yeah? So it's maybe not easy to understand. But Mira, did you follow what the joke was?
Maybe.
Did anyone understand completely?
Completely no, but I don't know. I think.
So, Tim, did you understand?
Maybe this is the gap between now and the past.
Well, okay, I'll just ask Tim first. Did you understand?
Yes.
Could you explain the joke?
It's funny because they play on the words.
Yes, they play on words.
Yes. And yes, I don't know how to explain.
Okay, I'll try. For those who don't know. Okay, so basically, it's a they're in a grocery shop. Well, they're in a fruit and vegetable shop. Although they could be, if you didn't watch it, if you just listened, they could be in a phone shop or a technical shop, because exactly what they're saying has two meanings. So my BlackBerry's not working, meaning my phone, the BlackBerry, but also this fruit is called a blackberry, although that wasn't a blackberry. It was a red one. The blackberry's more purple color. So he put a red berry thing down saying my BlackBerry's not working, meaning it's not a BlackBerry, it's something else. But then he was saying, oh, well, you can try it on Orange. And Orange, as Peter said, is a big phone company in the UK. And we say, for example, put it on Orange, put it on Vodafone, meaning use this network with your phone. So, oh, it's not working, we'll try it on Orange. Yeah. So he gets an orange because it has double meaning. Orange is the company and orange is the fruit. Try it on Orange. So he puts the BlackBerry on Orange. Meaning Orange is the phone company, BlackBerry's the mobile phone. Try it on Orange, yeah, as in try it with this network. Then they're talking about things like I bought an Apple, like an Apple product, Apple Mac and things like that. Oh, they brought out 2 apples since you bought this out, yeah. So Apple is in this, but also they're saying basically all technical items are fruit. And also they said things like, it broke. I've got to put my dongle in it or something. This is very, very rude, yeah? So a dongle is this device that you put in your phone. It's like a USB stick. Do you know what I mean? A USB stick. Wait, I have a dongle somewhere. I don't know. I can't find it. It's basically a USB stick which you plug into your computer to give you mobile internet or to give you extra memory. So this device is called a dongle. And he said it wasn't working. I'll put my dongle in it. Dongle can also be used to describe a man's... Yeah?
What? A man's what?
A man's... Something, for
Yeah.
example, that Timothy has but you don't, Manal. Yeah?
I
A
don't-
man's dongle. Yeah, do you understand? So basically, he was saying, it doesn't work. You should put your dongle in it, as in this device in the Apple product, but put your dongle. And then said, they asked the wife, they were saying, okay, well, my wife knows about these things. And what did your wife say? Oh, it's a bit on the small side, meaning the dongle doesn't fit, but also doesn't fit, yeah? Yeah.
Forever.
Do you understand?
No, not really.
Could
No,
you
it's alright.
could you write this word in the chat box?
Okay, wait, a dongle. In fact, I'll share my screen. I'll show you what a dongle is. Yeah, then I'll forget it. Then we'll go on. But yeah, this is kind of. I'm not surprised you don't understand. Yeah, British humor is very difficult to understand. It's not so. I find it funny, but maybe some people don't find this funny. Okay, this is a dongle. Can everyone see my screen? So this is a dongle.
Right.
And you have to put the dongle in the computer for it to work. But his dongle is not working because the joke is saying that, oh, the dongle doesn't fit. The dongle's too small. Because his wife said that the wife that knows about dongles, she's seen some more dongles. And yeah, it doesn't fit. Yeah, the dongle is too small. Okay, let's go on. Sorry, that was a bit of a distraction. But this is the same actor. And for example, this guy is representing a typical working class man. He has this hat. He's wearing, if you notice, the same clothes as before. Yeah, do you see this? Can you see?
Yes.
Okay, so it's the same kind of thing, yeah. But so he's wearing the same clothes as, for example, the other guy in the other video. Let's go on. Okay, this is quite complicated. Okay, so in that case, it's very difficult to explain. So we were talking about class. In that case, let's go back to the article. And sorry, guys. The Great British Class Calculator. So who would like to read first of all?
Can you drop the link into the Google chat once again, please?
Sure.
Okay, thanks.
Okay.
Okay.
Read.
Yes, please. Who would like to read? Mira, would you like to start? Or would someone else like to?
Okay. The Great British Class Calculator. People in the UK now fit into 7 social classes. A major survey conducted by the BBC suggested. So justice.
Yes.
It says the traditional categories of working, middle, and upper class are outdated, fitting 100% of people. It found a new model. Okay, complete.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
It found complete or stop?
Could you do, in fact, do the next 2 paragraphs, please, Mira.
Okay. It found a new model of 7 social classes ranging from the elite at the top to precariat.
I don't know how you say it. Precariat or precariat. You can use your flexibility on that one, I think. Precariat. I've never heard of it, but yeah, I'd say precariat. Precariat, maybe. I'm not sure how you'd say this, but because it is basically a new term, yeah. So, is anyone there? Silence. Mira?
Okay.
Okay, so sorry, did you go? Okay, so this precariat, I don't know how you say it, but precariat would be my instinct. Okay.
What does it mean?
It's a new term to define a new class. So we'll have a look. For example, here there's a diagram I think below about the new class system. But it's basically a description to describe the poorest, most deprived class. Yeah. So I've never heard of it before because they're basically saying it's a new. They're defining people into new categories. Yes, it's like a new carrier, a new category. Basically, the lowest, the lowest. So there's an elite, and there's the precariat. Let's have a look quickly because we're running out of time at the categories. Okay, so we're going to scroll down. You can see that the new classes are defined as. Okay, I don't know if you can see my screen, but the new class are defined as It starts with elite, established middle class, technical middle class, new affluent workers, etc. Let's just discuss this because the rest is just introducing it. I think that's the main point of this. Okay, so Mira, would you like to read again the first one, elite?
Okay. Elite, the most privileged group in the UK, distinct from the other 6 classes through its wealth. This group has the highest level of all 3 capitals.
This would class people, for example, like the Queen. Yeah, like even people like Elton John. Yeah, so not traditionally upper class people would be people with a title. That means they were the lord of the land. They inherited their wealth. They were aristocracy. Yeah, so before even if you had money, well, people didn't have money unless they had a name. In the olden days, now you can be in the elite category even if, for example, your father was a commoner. Yeah, beforehand you could only be in the upper class category if, for example, you were like the Queen, you had royal blood. Now, if you suddenly, I don't know, somehow make a lot of money, but you come from a poor family, you would still fit into this elite category if you are super rich. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
No need, even there is no queen or something. The leader or the regime or the rich people is in this class.
Well, the thing is, it happens that there's a lot of people that are a lot wealthier than the Queen in the UK, in terms of like the billionaires and things like that. Yeah. So before, the Queen is basically the technical owner of the UK, technical controller of the Commonwealth. So she would have been in the history, the king or the queen, the most rich, the richest, yeah, because they're the top. Now they're not, yeah. So the royal family are very rich, but they're not the richest, yeah. So there's people who've created businesses or companies, whatever, who are richer, or singers, musicians. Elton John, I think, is richer than the Queen, for example, yeah. So
I'm rich.
So these people fit into the elite category, yeah.
Yes.
Whereas before,
elite categories.
Yeah. Okay, so
I'm still a rich woman.
Yeah. So, for example, Mira would go into the elite. In fact, if there was a category, Mira would go into the super elite. Yeah.
Yes, for sure.
Okay. Cool. So yeah, let's go back to that. Okay. So that's the first category. Then that's the top category. Next is what? Who'd like to read this? So, Tim, would you like to read the next one?
From established.
Yes, please.
Established middle class, the second wealthiest, scoring highly on all 3 capitals, the largest and most gregarious group, scoring second highest for cultural capital.
What does this mean? Wait. Okay, so this I would say the second wealthiest. So not, for example, not the richest, but people, very rich people, but not the top rich. And these people basically, what does it mean? All 3 capitals, what does that mean? I have no idea. On all 3 capitals, so I guess finance, time, and I don't know what it means by on all 3 capitals, but basically they are a very culturally aware. They have a lot of money, but they don't form the elite category. So this, for example, not Elton John, but someone with maybe a couple of million in the bank. Yeah, so enough money. They're very cultured and things like that. You could say, yes. So they do things like maybe play polo or play golf. From what I understand, yeah, or I don't know, yeah. So they've got a couple of million, but they're not enough to be in the elite category, like the billionaires, yeah, or anything like that. So that's what I'd say goes next. Then we've got what, yeah. So who would like to read the next one?
May I?
Okay.
Yes, please, Manal.
Okay. From technical middle class. Yeah.
Yes, please.
Yeah. Okay. Technical middle class, a small distinctive new class group which is prosperous,
Prosperous.
prosperous, but scores low for social and cultural capital.
Now I understand. Now I understand this. What it's saying about capital. Okay. Sorry. Yep. And then the last bit.
Yeah, okay. Distinguished by its social isolation and cultural apathy.
Okay, so the established middle class, sorry, are those who know people. Yeah, so they have money, but they're not enough to be in the elite category, but they have context. They have social connections with important people. Yeah, so maybe they know they're friends with a top lawyer, or they are basically their father was I don't know, a doctor. That means they know really important people. That means so established, meaning not just new middle class. Yeah, so they haven't just got money now. They've had maybe money in the family, but not enough to be elite. But they have social connections. They know people in high places. Maybe they're friends with the prime minister, something like that. Yeah, you could say. They just have connections, and also they're cultured, yeah, and things like that. Okay, so technical middle class. Then what Manal just read. Basically, this is a new class group. Prosperous. What does prosperous mean?
Flourish.
Profitable or developing or something.
Prosperous, yeah. So has money. So not maybe loads of money, but has enough money. Has enough money to satisfy them. You could say, for example, a country is prosperous, or a country is prospering if, for example, it's got enough money to give everyone an okay standard of living. Yeah. So prosperous, but scores low for social and culture capital. Basically, these people are starting to get money, but they don't know important people. They don't have a top lawyer's number on speed dial, or they don't know the prime minister's wife, yeah, or they haven't had dinner with the queen, yeah, so things like that. So they have money, they're starting to get money, they're developing into this, they're going to the established middle class category, but they're not there yet, yeah. So they're technically middle class, although the old definition is with people with contacts, people with status, yeah. They don't have this status really, they just have the money, but they're developing this status, yeah.
Okay.
Who would like to read the next one?
I'll do it.
Yes, please.
Okay. New affluent workers, a young class group which is socially and culturally active with middling levels of economic capital.
What does this mean?
It's a hard question. A group of people who are in the middle class, maybe.
Yeah, so affluent means not doing bad with money. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. So Manal, what do you say? What's affluent?
Oh yeah, I got the wrong words. I think that fluent. Sorry.
Okay. Yep. So affluent. What does this mean, Tim? Do you know affluent?
Yes, because in French it's the same word.
Yes. So how do you say it in French?
Affluent.
Okay, affluent.
He's between middle and rich, I think. Yeah.
No, affluent is basically got enough money. Yeah. So it's again has no problems with money. So if you want to go to a restaurant in the evening, you go to the restaurant in the evening. Yeah, you have the option. You're free to do this. You can also talk about regions. Yeah, for example, the most affluent region in the UK is, well, of course, London, and in the southeast. That's the bit with the most money, but it's not meaning it's the richest place in the world. It's just that's the most with the most money comparatively. Yes, so an affluent person has enough money. Yeah. So in this case, it's saying this young, so it's a new class group. These people who go into these are socially and culturally active, which means they're trying to build up context. Maybe they don't have context now. They don't have the privilege of having a father in a high position. They are socially and culturally active. They're interested in going to the theatre. They're interested in culture, going on holiday to different countries to discover about other cultures. And they're interested in building up some kind of network, so some kind of contact list. but their amount of money is their average income. Yeah, so they get average salary, but they want to progress. They want to get into a higher position in the future, and they're doing that through increasing their awareness of other cultures, and also trying to get a good contact list. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Then we have this one. Who'd like to read the next one?
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Traditional working class scores low on all forms of capital, but it is not completely deprived. Its members have reasonably high house values, explained by this group having the oldest average age at 66.
Okay, for example, my grandparents would fall into that category. When they were younger, because the economy in the UK was different then, they were what we say in this category, traditional working class. They had normal, completely average jobs. But because they bought a property when it was very cheap, and now it's increased in value, although they did working class jobs, that's what this category is saying, they've benefited from an increase in the property values, yeah, and they're usually older, what we'd say, yeah. So the traditional working class people, my granddad, for example, was a farmer, yeah, and my grandmother worked. She was some kind of manager or supervisor, something like that, yeah. So completely normal jobs, and not particularly well paid, but this group, for example, bought property at the right time. And property increased. So they have assets, these people in this category, but they didn't maybe have specialist jobs. They weren't, for example, like Sam, engineers or things like that. Yeah. So they weren't that. So that's what we call these groups. But of course, 50 years ago, this category didn't increase because people didn't own property. Yeah. People started owning property. Normal people started owning property maybe within the last 50 years or so. Yeah. So in the UK. So that's what we call that traditional working class. They were working class, but now they're kind of middle class because of property. That's it. Okay, emergent service workers. Who would like to read this one?
I can read this one.
Yes, please, Sam.
Okay, emergent service workers, a new young urban group which is relatively poor but has high social and cultural capital.
Okay, what does this mean?
It means that workers, like young people, who are considered poor because they just started their life, but they are expected to have a good future.
The potential, yes. So they have the potential to do really well. They have basically it's saying that the new categories before, if you're born lower class family, you were lower class the rest of your life. The new system is basically saying that actually you can increase your class very easily. Normal people, if you, for example, get contacts, you go upper class and things like that. You go into a higher categories. And the last one is basically the poorest, most deprived class, scoring low. Basically, they're no potential there. Yeah. So that's what it sees. It's scoring low for social and cultural capital. They're not interested in other cultures, not interested in about going on holiday. They don't want to develop themselves. Yeah. So that's how we'd say. Quick question: do you think this is similar in your countries? Do you think it's fairer than the traditional structure, or do you think basically we shouldn't have this system in any case? So, what would you say, Sam? You had an opinion.
I'm not sure. So maybe we can call this the emergent service workers, or the people who are, we call them today internship.
Right? Yeah. So interns and stuff.
Internship, yes. Well, yes, I think you can find much of these today. Actually, you may be the biggest problem now.
That's another. By the way, we've got to go. That's another issue. Yeah, we'll talk about that in another session. This whole thing of where, how is it? And Peter made a good point. It creates even more stereotypes. That's another thing. I wanted to discuss this with you a little bit, but we've run out of time. But take care, guys. Really interesting speaking with you, and hopefully speak to you in a future session. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Martin. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.